Asia has a new Wonder Kid sprinting sensation, and his name is Puripol Boonson. Already one of the fastest junior runners in the world, the sprinter from Thailand has been turning heads for years as one of the greatest sprinting prospects on planet Earth, putting up times that only show you how much potential he has as he continues to develop. We'll be taking a look at why Boonson maybe one of the greatest sprinters of his generation, what his competition is shaping up to look like, and why he's doing something unprecedented for an area of the world that isn't known for being an athletics powerhouse. I think the biggest thing about Puripol Boonson, at least from what meets my eye, is how he's able to finish races. Now, I think it's an interesting comparison to make because if we talk about the greatest Asian sprinter before him, it would be, of course, Su Bingtian. However, despite being from Asia, their sprinting styles are not similar whatsoever. In fact, they come at the sprint, the 100 meters specifically, from two different sides of the race. Su Bingtian, who no longer really competes at 35, but was most well known for his 2021 Tokyo Games performance, was a sprinter that thrived off his incredible start and acceleration. After all, he holds the all-time 60-meter split for the 100 meters, faster than anyone out of the blocks and to that 60-meter line in this race. A ridiculously raw explosiveness that had him charging away from the field over the first half of the race and recording the fastest 60-meter splitting history at 6.29 seconds. It's a split that's both faster than Bolt's 6.31 world record split and Coleman's 6.34 indoor world record split. However, the issue with Su was always his ability to maintain his speed on the stretch, as the final 30 meters really saw his lead get eaten up by his competitors as they really got into their running. I think part of that is how Su is a shorter athlete, and in that way, his stride isn't optimally suited to produce a ton of power for maximum speed, but rather it was well constructed for fast accelerations due to the shorter stride length, a bit like how Bolt's longer legs didn't yield great starts, but produced some epic finishes. The thing about Puripol Boonson, though, is he's not built like Su Bingtian, nor does he really sprint like him. Like, at all. Listed at 6 feet tall, the same height as Gout, by the way, who we'll talk about a bit more later, Boonson has the morphology of a slightly taller sprinter, not overwhelmingly tall like, say, Bolt, but he does have some similarities in how he sprints with the all-time sprinting GOAT. The thing is, Boonson is able to close races with an exceptional finish. We see a lot of races where he gets left behind in the blocks, but he's able to come back over the second half of the race and hunt down his competitors. Obviously, it's a style that leaves one biting their fingernails if you have money on the person to win or something like that, but it's a style that a lot of the world's best sprinters actually use. Of course, there was Bolt, who was known for his finish, but there's also other sprinting superstars that rely on their finishes to win races. Noah Lyles is a pretty great example, and so is Richardson. Both are more dominant in the 200 as well and have exceptional top-end speed, which is what I think Boonson has as well. Yet Boonson isn't the only junior sprinter that has been making waves through the sprinting world with his finishes. Another youngster from Australia named Gout has taken the sprinting world by storm, with comparisons of him to the next Usain Bolt. And Gout displays the same style to Bolt in a ridiculous finishing ability that sees him just power through the line. He's posted some big PRs, including a 10.29 and 20.60, showing some of the greatest talent and promise in the up-and-coming sprinting world. And I do think if both these sprinters, Gout and Boonson, continue to develop properly, we could see many future battles between them in the 200 meters, a race where Gout took silver at the World Junior Championships as he couldn't quite catch Beyanda Walaza, another young sprinting talent from South Africa that definitely has a very unique spriggy style. But speaking of Walaza, at the World Junior Championships, Boonson continued to impress as he made his way through the 100-meter heats and all the way to the 100-meter finals, where, thanks to his fast times in qualification, he got a pretty favorable lane draw right in the middle and was definitely one of the favorites for the win. However, he'd have to contend with Walaza, who also seriously impressed in the heats with his unorthodox style, and he's known for getting out of the blocks really well. This is a contrast to Boonson, who got off to a slower start, as he usually does, but came back at Walaza over the final part of the race, almost catching him, but the South African would hang on despite rocking and rolling to the finish. I can't help but think that if Boomsong works on improving his start, not that it needs to be world class or Su Bingtian level or something like that, but just improving on it, he could be one of the best sprinting professionals at the senior level, a leader for a new generation of Asian sprinting that expands and perhaps even surpasses the feats of previous legends like Su Bingtian. And the thing is, Boonson isn't the only Asian talent that's up and coming. Mohammed Azim bin Mod Fatmi, probably did not pronounce that at all correctly, but he's also produced some really remarkable times with a 10.09 100 and 20.83 200 as a junior. Although older than Boonson, he's just another talent that could be in the rise of Asian sprinting for the future. Even less known talents like Zin Ken Lee of China boasting 10.15 and 6.62 times at a young age, as well as many other sprinting prospects, shows the athletics world that maybe the landscape of the world's best sprinters is changing. The rise of Asian sprinting may be something that astonishes the world in the future with young talents like Boonson and others. And as an athletics fan, I think we should all be very excited to see just how fast these Asian sprinters run. If you enjoy athletics coverage like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.